I'm Dawn. I have the pleasure of being the poetry editor and assistant managing editor of Soundings East this year, which was fantastic. Thank you. And let's see, some of these are published, some of them are new, some of them we'll just see what happens. I have a little warning for Kevin that these may be a little sad. You know. All right, here we go. Lying between Leo to the west and Libra to the east. We used to hide letters to each other in the encyclopedias. After your suicide, always now after. I thought, please, maybe you left me something. I checked every volume, searching for a reason, tucked hidden away, my fingers covered in dust, your voice quelled. I signed my name to carry what remains of you across state lines in a black box that weighs less than my grief, but more than I expected. I hold you, oh God, my baby, watching the fields recede into the distance, a place you and I could never fully leave until now. I do what I was born to do. I watch you rise, snuff the flames, become magnitudes, absolute from ashes, stars. This one's for the bestie. That one diner off I-65 in Jasper County. I see us sitting in our favorite booth. You know, the one with the cracked gummy vinyl. That one trucker is here again, half dozing into his dinner plate of something overly fried. And we have our cups of coffee. And I just lit another cigarette after putting one out. And you search for your other lighter. It's just you and me together again on this Saturday night in the middle of summer with no big plans and no real sense of urgency except what are we doing with our lives and where are we headed and will we be alone forever and what if we are alone forever and what if we never get out of this place and what if this is all there is and this can't be all there is because we are too big for this place and we have outgrown this booth, this cup of coffee, this Saturday evening long before we realized we had really outgrown it. Remember when we learned that our ears keep growing as we get older, and as dumb as that sounds, it doesn't make us hear our future any clearer, or each other any better. And maybe there is something to this idea that we might never amount to anything, because the amount we always have in our pockets is only ever enough to share a plate of fries, and this fucking bitter cup of truck stop fuel. This is what will keep us up tonight talking the hours away and trying to unravel what probably can't be unraveled and who the fuck cares because we have each other. And maybe that is all that we ever amount to, is each other's soft place to land. And maybe where we are headed is never beyond this booth, this nighttime enlightenment. This one's from Matt. Survival friction fires. I see the way you look at me, these new lines on my face, tracings in existence born out of grins and grimaces over bullshit. Like money and dying and divorce and living, I know what you think you see when I stare back at you. Self-defiant and self-assured, but I assure you I'm not above clawing my own eyes out in order to not see what comes next. We made promises in dirt, you and I, and somewhere those marks are eroding away like love does, where it has nowhere left to sit. This heavy heart, this sun could die before we ever knew. And when does the leaving replace the longing? When do the scars become a roadmap to the future? How much do we gather in order to find some peace towards that precious moment of an ember deciding? If God were a verb, I would have learned to pray. I listen to what's seen. Common crackle, Canada goose, pine warbler, tufted titmouse. In some indigenous cultures, all of life speaks the same language. When did we begin counting notes instead of listening? Interrupting these songs, they could be eulogies, ballads, songlines, only I will never know it. I could download an app that can identify which bird is calling, but it doesn't tell me why. Dear ones, what is it you need me to hear? What secret do you think I know? have buried down deep in the dark of my garden that only your shamanic chant can unearth. There is nothing mystical about my name. To you, a confession. What do you want me to say? All right, last one. This is kind of a long title. Single wolves typically have higher success rates in hunting than do large packs. It starts with wolves, I think. I try to remember my wildness, when it was a good thing, when I was the most free, like swinging in the backyard from sunup to setting, listening to the mowing of grass, watching the dust swirl up from the fields as tractors strangled out the corn. I know that wolves travel in packs, and it's a deep down lonesome thing when the only packs I know are frozen Salem menthol lights that my mother keeps in her basement freezer. This isn't the wild, so he won't come for me the way the wolves do with their high howling. No, his growls are guttural, and mine, those sounds scratching up my throat, are keening ribbons of bread shreds. Some sounds travel farther in rural areas, but only if you listen. Wolves are territorial, you know. They'll bare their teeth to protect their own. I tried to keep him out. My small arms could only reach up so far. How many turns does it take a door to stay locked? I'm asking for a friend. How much weight do words need to carry in order to crush the predator? How many soft screams will it take to save what is mine? Tell me, what does it mean to bleed like this? You who allow the trespass of me.